Welcome to Photo Finds. I am your host Kevin, and this week we are having a close-up look at Funspot. Now, Funspot is one of these sort of attractions over on the side of the main Orlando area theme parks, and as you can see from the map here, we'll take a closer look in a second. It's meant to be kind of a miniature theme park, or a smaller theme park of its own. Its location is along the 192, US 192 road, which you can think of as the main drag in Kissimmee. So in other words, it's not far from the entrance to Walt Disney World, and as you can tell, it's laid out around a lagoon. Now there's a couple of different fun spots. This is the one by Disney World. There's also one on International Drive. Its main features are these go-kart races, the go-kart tracks, and there are several of them scattered around, as well as some flat rides, and we'll have a look at some of those, as well as a roller coaster over in the corner. Now, when you walk in, the appearance is one of a little bit like a fair. So they've got funnel cakes and cotton candy booths, and then this big truck here. All things that kind of increase the atmosphere, I guess. Obviously, it's not themed like a major theme park might be themed. It's themed more like a carnival. One of the big selling points, both the International Drive location and this one, is their sky coaster. You know, this sort of thing where you get drawn back and then dropped until you do a little pendulum swing. This is the world's tallest, or at least the signs say it's the world's tallest, 300 feet tall. We'll have a look at the sky coaster a little bit later. So, the main entrance includes an arcade, of course. And once you get over into the main arcade, you can see some of what the prices look like, which will show you that around the corner. But generally speaking, people buy armbands for their day at this park here. You could buy individual ride tickets. It happens through a sort of a digital card, and the small flat rides, like you might see in the background here, the small kiddie coaster here, might be $3, $4, or $5 each. The large go-kart rides are more like $9 each. And this is one of the smaller go-kart rides, and probably an appropriate place to begin. It's just a number of twisted turns to it. A little bit slick, not too much, but of course it's a flat race. And there's another view of that same one. There's a slick track around the corner from there as well. One of the flat rides, this one called Surf's Up. It's a sort of standing vehicle where you stand up here and the thing spins around as you go. And as you see, it goes over a couple of bumps, or humps, probably the better way to put it. So here's the main kind of organizing way to think about the various rides that are available here. First of all, as you see, it's open until midnight, and it opens at 10 o'clock. It does get busier toward the afternoon, and especially in the evening. I didn't stay all the way until midnight. I have no idea if it's busy at that point, but I will say that in the early morning, it's much less busy. We had gone on Easter. This is the other thing I wanted you to see. There are height requirements for a great many things. Now, some of them are listed here as a height requirement, but that just means to ride alone. So, for instance, Chaos and Vortex are the two big multi-layered go-kart tracks, but you can go, even if you're not 54 inches, you just have to go in a double car. And you can't have two kids in a double car unless you're 18 years old. So these are the heights to ride alone. Now, the road course, that's the one track we were looking at, and the slick course, which is just a single oval, you can see it in the background here, those don't have double rides, so these are the only ones that kids can go on. And then, of course, you have a number of other smaller surface level, I guess flat rides is the way to think of them, and some of them are what you would find in a fair. You know, yo-yo is a big swing, I guess, is the way to think of that. A carousel, of course, makes sense. We just looked at what Surf's Up is. There's the Sky Coaster, and that one's an upcharge of, I think it's $40. We happened to be there on a group rate, and since there were 10 of us, we were able to get not only a discount on the armband down to $25, down from $35, you're able to get Sky Coaster for half off. So visiting with a group really makes a lot of sense from a financial point of view. We saw a little bit of this in the early morning part of the day when there wasn't a lot of crowds, where there wasn't necessarily an attendant for every single ride. This is one of those terrifying rides that flips you almost completely upside down. There's two of these and moving kind of a jackhammer orientation. And the attendants will simply move between different stations. So that was less true later when it got busier. This is perhaps the defining feature of both the Funspot here and the one in International Drive, and these are the multi-layered go-kart tracks. and they're laid out by the original founder and owner, who has won some awards for these. As you can see, the tracks kind of fold over each other, kind of a freeway layout in some cases, and it's really a very exciting kind of path to be on, both going up and going down, and having things wrap around you and passing you in all sorts of directions. And they one of the things they don't shy away from doing, in addition to the tunnels and overpasses and underpasses, is just having these close calls. You're not supposed to do any bumping, but as you can see here, people sometimes do pass each other. There's someone passing now, and you get a sense for the angle, the steepness of some of these hills. Really a sense of visual excitement and loudness as these cars go racing past each other. And down into this particular twist here, which is the end of one of the tracks, which is again a little bit faster than perhaps you're expecting. Now switching over to the yellow track, the Vortex, there's a lot of uphill. As you can see, you just go up and up and up and around in that spiral, and then when you get to the top of the spiral, you come to really what must be described as a terrifying hill, where you're going down basically full speed, a huge bank around the corner here. It's a lot of fun, though. It's a visceral thrill, very much like going on a roller coaster, except you're in control of the car, which adds even more depth to the feeling and to the experience. There's that sign announcing the world's tallest sky coaster at 300 feet, and there are the prices. $40 for a single flyer. Again, it's half off if you're on a group rate that day, and then down to up to $30 each if it's going to be triple flyers, let's say. And there are the prices for the armbands. As you saw earlier, it's $35 for an adult armband and only $25 for a youth armband. And so, of course, the group price for the kids is lower than that as well. It's about $17, I think it was. And you'll see that they list what some of the attractions are when you're here considering buying an armband. There's a look at that 300-foot tall sky coaster, and they do have those lights at the top because those are structures that could get in the way of an airplane. There's the look at the armband, but we're also here taking a picture of these drinks, which are $5, and they're life of the cup is the way it was described to us. Not only all you can drink for the day, and there's soda refills, etc., but you can keep coming back. And we didn't buy it ourselves, but someone else had bought, in our group had bought the popcorn, and that was advertised as $1 refills for the life of the popcorn cup. So as a local, I can really see the value of this particular merchandise opportunity. Power Trip is the name of this roller coaster, and as you can see, it is a wild mouse, or better said, a crazy mouse, is the kind where the cars spin around. In fact, I'm not entirely convinced it's any different whatsoever from Countdown to Extinction over in Disney's Animal Kingdom. The layout looked pretty much exact to my memory, so it may in fact be. This is going to be a lot more unique in Orlando. We've seen this before in other parks on the East Coast. I think Dollywood may have had one, or perhaps it was Carowinds. But these are the kinds of flyers where you control a fin. You aim left and you aim right, and then as you get pulled up just by centrifugal force, you can control your left and right movement to the extent that you can kind of almost swing way down low and way up high as you're going around. In fact, your car almost kind of turns around backwards as you're doing it. It's an absolutely terrifying ride, but way more fun than you would expect for a flat little spinner ride like that. So that is a mostly complete tour of Funspot USA. Again, that's the one on Kissimmee on 192, not far from the Walt Disney World entrance. There is a complete different park with different track layouts, etc. on International Drive, and it's the International Drive one that is undergoing its refurbishment and expansion right now, and by summer they'll have another wooden coaster open over at the iDrive location, and of course we'll have a look when that time comes around. That does it for this week. Thanks again, as always, for being here with us, and we'll catch you next time.